Hey everyone, this is Kim and this is my Cultural Challenge presentation. First of all, I just want to start with what cultural sensitivity means to me. To me, cultural sensitivity is the awareness of someone else's beliefs and practices. It's being neutral to how this might contradict with your own beliefs and then providing interactions that are sensitive to the beliefs of others. Also providing care that's tailored towards their practices and beliefs. A little bit about me. I come from a small town in Maine. I was raised all over the United States. My father was in the Navy. I wasn't raised under any certain religion, but I do have my own beliefs, and that's just come with experiences and time, and that makes me the person that I am. I believe that treating others with kindness and compassion is necessary. I'm not immune to having opinions about other people, but I do try to keep them to myself. I believe that we should all be courteous of what someone else believes, even if it doesn't align with our own beliefs. I have respect for differences, and I kind of equate that to my experiences over my lifetime with many different races, religions, backgrounds, statuses that I've encountered in my different states where I've lived, in the different environments that I've lived in in my career as a nurse. So in my cultural challenge, a little bit about them. The cultural challenge I experienced happened when I was a charge nurse on a busy medical surgical unit. It involved one of my nurses, and she was a Jehovah's Witness. Jehovah's Witnesses do not believe in receiving or administering blood products. I knew they didn't believe in receiving, but I wasn't aware that they would not administer blood until this situation came up. So the challenge is a patient needed a blood transfusion and the nurse would not administer the transfusion because of her beliefs. At first, I was disturbed that a nurse was refusing to provide care to her assigned patient. This nurse was normally real productive. She was a really good nurse. And it was really challenging to us because we're all busy. And having to administer blood products, as you all know, requires a large amount of time and monitoring. Even as the charge nurse, I had a full team of patients that day. No one wanted to take on the task when they were already overwhelmed with their own. And some nurses were even kind of rude about it. As charge, I did have to administer the blood for her. She was very courteous. She offered to watch my patients or help me with anything other than the blood transfusion. But this left me with questions. Why would there not be an exception for a healthcare worker as a Jehovah's Witness to administer blood? To me, that's respecting someone else's decision, despite your own beliefs, and we do that all the time in healthcare. So how I became aware, I went straight to the source. I asked her, why would you not administer? I mean, you're a nurse. That makes sense to me. She told me it's just a very important part of her religious beliefs, not to receive blood and not to administer because of that. She said it's the only thing she won't do, and in return, she always works the holidays so others can have them off. And I didn't realize that at the time. Apparently, Jehovah's Witnesses also do not observe holidays. So I did some research as well, and it is up to the discretion of the person, but to her, this was really important. How this shaped me. So initially, of course, I was bothered by this. I felt that every nurse should be willing to provide whatever it takes for their patient's care. She was such a good nurse, and she did work hard, and she did work every holiday so that others could be off. So I had to put it into another perspective. Started thinking about the nurse that won't start an IV because she's not good at it. And the nurses that won't start and the nurses that won't place an NG or a Foley or something like that because they just aren't good at it. And they have no problem coming and asking for help, and we're generally more than willing to do that. So if we're willing to help those that aren't comfortable with a skill, we should be just as willing to help someone that has a strong belief. In the future, we tried to avoid assigning her patients that would possibly need blood so that she wouldn't have to be put in this situation as well as anyone else. I did have people come to me with their thoughts on the matter, and if they mentioned the situation to me, I reminded them that we all have things that we're not good at doing. And I think that really did help others to kind of understand as well. So that was my cultural challenge. Thanks, everybody.